Hey, what's up guys? In this video we're going to be comparing the Adidas Adios Pro against the Brooks Hyperion Elite version 2. Right guys, so here we go. Let's put these two up against each other. Now I thought this would be a great comparison. I looked around at all the sort of hyper shoes that are around at the moment, and I'm really lucky to have so many, right? But I thought, what's the best comparison to make for the Adidas Adidas Pro? And I looked and I thought, well, the Fuel Cell RC is a bit unfair because we know I don't get on with that shoe. So that's really unfair to compare it against that, because obviously I'm going to say the Adidas, or Adidas, sorry for my US friends. The Alphafly I think is on another level and another price point. You've got the stuff from Saucony, you've got the Meta Racer, which is I think more of a 10k shoe, I've got to be honest with you, in my hands, not some machine that's out there that does a marathon in 2 hours 30 minutes. And yeah, so I kind of looked around and I thought, you know what, the best comparison is probably the Brooks. They're both wide, they're both a stable platform in terms of width, not necessarily the height stack high on that, but in terms of width. They both got decent outsoles, you know, plenty of rubber right in the right places, both got exposed midsole there. Both extremely breathable uppers. They're more racier shoes than, say, the RC, which has got more of a traditional sort of feeling to it. You know, there's a little bit of foam in there, but not too much. The lacing is great on both the shoes. It locks you down really, really well. They're both a firmer ride, I would say, than some of the other shoes out there, you know, like a Zoom X or a Fuel Cell, obviously. They're definitely a firmer ride. They both fit well, nice and wide. I don't know if I mentioned that already. Price points are a little bit different. This is like £220, £240. I know it's $250. I'm trying to do the conversion, but I'm not doing very well. This is £170, so totally different price point. And you can kind of get these where some of the other hyper shoes you can't get them for love nor money, for example the Pro. So that's why I thought they would be a good comparison to make. In terms of tech, let's get into some of that and the features and that. So this has got a Cellar Mesh upper, like the Pro version. The shoe weighs, I think, 225 grams yet. It's got an 8.5mm drop, so you've got 35 in the heel down to 26.5 in the front. You've got two plates in this. You've got one in the heel, and then you've got these energy rods. So these are carbon infused rods, which are designed to deliver an anatomically driven transition that limits energy loss. I've mentioned the Cellar Mesh. Oh, you've got the Light Strike midsole there as well. And then you've got the Brooks. You've got the nitrogen infused DNA flash. You've got the rapid roll technology. So you've got this bevel here which rocks you down through the shoe. So it's giving you a nice heel to toe transition. I can't remember the weight. Where's the weight? 7.6 ounces. So it is lighter marginally. That's 215.5 grams for those who are looking in grams. So a little bit lighter, but not much in it. It's got an 8mm drop, 37mm heel, 29 in the front. You've got carbon plate in it, carbon plate in it as well. And yeah, so that's the sort of tech out of the way. Now, if you look, now I wouldn't have thought that this had the same sort of stack height, but look, when you compare the two, they do, right? So which one do I prefer? Right, well, straight away, I'm going to say the Brooks, because I prefer the Brooks. It just feels, even though they're similar weights, it just feels lighter on the foot. I prefer the heel to toe transition of it. I do like a rocker if you're new to the channel, and particularly with the glide ride. Man, it's famous. I did get it into the video. The glide ride, it's got a nice rocker on it, so I do like a rocker. I can't believe I snuck in glide ride. And I just like the overall feel of it. I like the DNA flash pushing me through. Both of these shoes have a firmer feel to them than some of the other shoes. I told you that already, but I just like the whole sort of transition and the sort of firmer ride with this marathon racing shoe compared to this. But you know what, if you've not seen the video I've done on this already, check it out, because this has really surprised me. This has not been a well received shoe by some, but you know what, I've actually gotten all right with it. I hated it at the start, but I think because of the way I'm striking at the moment, where I've moved from a heel striker more to the forward, I'm actually sort of in about this area. And what I feel like I'm getting is I'm getting a bit of a kick from the plate in the heel onto the energy rod. So I'm kind of getting best of both worlds. So it's not, you know, you don't get a rolling sensation through it. You get like a snap from this. But it's really surprised me how much actually I've got on with it. The sort of firmness of the midsole is giving me a little bit less sort of pronation, which is great. I love the breathability of the upper. And I'm not a big fan of Adidas shoes. They don't really work for me. But this has been the sort of only Adidas shoe of late that I've actually kind of got on with. But like I said, at the start, I hated it. It drove me nuts. I found it too firm, lifeless, and just didn't do anything for me. But the more I've ran in it, the better I felt. And I think, and I said it in the original video, if I had a marathon to do, just a marathon, I mean, it sounds like big time, but if I wasn't gunning for a time, if it wasn't an A race, then I'd probably stick these on and just get it done, if that makes any sense. It's one of those shoes that I feel like I can go for a time, but not necessarily all out, full mental, like I would necessarily in them. And I think actually the Brooks for me is more of an A race shoe for me. I feel like I can get better times in it than this, but I just feel like this over a marathon distance may suit me better because of the two plates. But if I was actually gunning for a time, so let's say it's 2021, let's put the clock forward, right? And I've got Manchester, and I've got, what's the other two? I've got like 3 at the start of the year, right? So 3 marathons. And the first one's going to be my A race, so Manchester. I'm going to be wearing the Alphafly. Now, this is third world problems, right? I am so lucky with all these shoes. I would then go to the Brooks for my second marathon. Or, actually, I may go to the Adidas, because the second marathon, I'm probably going to be knackered and not feel like gunning for it. And then I'll go back to the Brooks and go all out again and have another go at it. I mean, I'm really lucky in the respect of how many of these shoes I've got. But that's the sort of thing I'm trying to drill in here, is that that's like my top level racing shoe over the marathon distance I would use. If it was a quickish marathon that I wanted to have a reasonable go at, I'd go with the Brooks. And if it was a marathon that I'm happy just to sort of get it done, but still want the confidence and the sort of the technology to help me through the 26.2 miles, then I would go with the Adidas. And at 180, 170 pounds, I think it's a bit of a bargain. So I don't know whether that's a conclusion or not. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do you think the Brooks is better than the Adidas? Have you tried either? Let me know in the comments. I'd be really interested to know. But that's kind of where I'm going. So from out of these two, I'd go with Brooks all day long. But there's nothing actually wrong with this shoe, and I think it's worth a look at £170.